You had an ill moment on the Breakfast Club where you went in there unapologetic and even corrected Charlemagne and some of the other people about some of this stuff.
That here's an opportunity for me to have a conversation with him about Jesus means the world to me.
Ruslan.
You had an ill moment on the Breakfast Club where you went in there unapologetic and even corrected Charlemagne and some of the other people about some of this stuff. It was super dope to see you on there.
Thank you.
Seeing John Keith on there, who I've seen, I've known John since 15, 16 years old.
Yeah, great person.
Tell me what it's been like this last run of podcasts you've done and being in these spaces where sometimes you might be the only follower of Jesus in the room, and the boldness that you had in those spaces to stand 10 toes down when engaging with a Charlemagne and having to kind of correct him and redirect him a little bit on some of his takes.
Yeah, I'm terrified being these podcasters, but that's when God uses me the most. Because it's funny, because when I'm walking into the space of it all, I'm a little bit like, oh man, I don't know if I want to do. What am I gonna, and then God just lets me know like the room is still and that He's with me, and like it's almost like knowing like David when he was facing his giant, right? It was like what people don't realize about that story, at least the way I see it, is this: it's like how could he miss? Like if the giant is so big, then you should be able to close your eyes and throw something at it and hit it.
Bigger target.
I mean? Yeah, bigger target. Yeah. God is with you. You're not missing. Yeah. So I look at it like that from that perspective, that someone like Charlemagne, who I've seen have said things multiple times and that I don't necessarily agree with, and that here's an opportunity for me to have a conversation with him about Jesus means the world to me, right? Because it's like you just never know what someone's going through. You never know what someone's thinking. But just to get some things off the chest and not trying to correct in a demeaning way. Yeah. Just trying to
You did a really good job of that, by the way.
Not trying to just like, no, this is how I see it from my perspective and my opinion in it all. That, we tend as human beings to just chase these awards. Like people are infatuated with like Grammys and different things on their shelves and all of that, right? I coach my son's basketball, my 10-year-old basketball. I want to win the championship every time we go. I'm super competitive, so I want to win the championship. I remember someone told me a long time ago, it's not about the medal, right? And it isn't about the medal. I just want to see the smile on their face when they get it and know that they worked hard and that they achieve something, and then use that as a way like, okay, now let's put that into spiritual perspective. If you work hard at your craft with your relationship with Christ, there's a reward that's waiting for you that's beyond what this is.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. What I love about that is the thing to actually become the guy with the Grammys, right? The Michael Jackson. If I'm going to take it in a practical sense, is actually being in love with the process of becoming the type of person that can make the type of thing to have said success. So in Atomic Habits, James Clear talks about people want to change and they just focus on the outputs. So it's like, I want to change. I want a Grammy. I want to make more money. I want the scale on the weight to be different. And you're just consumed with the output. But he says what really has to happen is that you have to change your systems and your processes, because if you become the type of person that has the daily systems to become who you want to be, the outputs will come in time. You got to fall in love with the process and the systems, right? And because he says you never rise to the level of your goals, you always fall to the level of your systems. So what are your daily systems, right? But he says you can't change your systems unless you have a change of identity. So identity is so crucial in that the person that no longer identifies as a smoker is more likely to quit smoking. The person that sees themselves as an athlete is more likely to do things and create the systems and the processes that behave like an athlete, and then they'll eventually get the output, right? The issue, though, even with that is, well, where do we get our identity from, right? Like what if I am a smoker? Like what if I'm not good? What if I'm not good at? What if I've never been an athlete? And you're just like, just imagine I'm an athlete. I'm no longer a smoker. And so what you're getting at though, in a deeper spiritual sense, is that identity. It can't be outside in. It can't be validation, numbers on a board, and it can't be inside out. It can't be subjective to my whims and my feelings. Because if your kid's basketball team just keeps saying we're champions, what if you're not champions? What if there's some other team that's just nasty because they stacked the deck and they got all the kids that grew up together, right?
That happened to them.
So what if they're not? But if we say our identity is not outside in, it's not inside out, it's actually top down. So J. Warner Wallace coined the language top down. So my identity is anchored in who Jesus says I am, not in my external validation or my subjective feelings. My identity. So therefore, I am a child of God. I am no longer a saint. I'm a sinner. I am sanctified. I am a friend of God. I'm adopted. I'm accepted. I'm loved. I am the temple of the living God. So you want to talk about motivation to create the systems to change our physical outcomes. It's like, my body's a temple of God. Of course I got to pay attention to what I'm eating and what I'm drinking and right? Wow. So you have the shift is like, and it's because of who he says I am, not the external motivation or the subjective feelings. And so I think what you're getting at on a deeper sense, man, is that yes, there was something in Michael to say these Grammys don't mean anything. I'm just the type of person that creates the type of music that gets those types of results. There's a degree of obsession and a degree of commitment to that. But what is that overflowing from? Because that could be overflowing from, I need to prove them all wrong. That could be overflowing from, I need validation. Or it could be overflowing from, I want to make the most of my time, talent, and treasure to bring glory to my God with everything he's given me. Because actually everything he's given me is not even my own. These gifts aren't my own. This life's not my own, right? So I love that you connected. I love that you connected to basketball because we did the same thing. We coached the basketball and it was rough, bro. We had a couple teams that stacked the deck. Hey, thanks for checking out that clip. If you want to see this full podcast before it goes out on YouTube, consider signing up for a free 7-day trial on Patreon. You get to see this entire podcast before anyone else does. You get access to our daily after party streams after they get taken out from YouTube. And right now, this month only, we're giving you guys 20% off our Bless God shop. So you could pick up some of the new pieces in our Miracles We All Believe collection that is only available for a limited time. So here's a little teaser of what else is in this Rodney Jerkins podcast. Don't want to miss it. All right. Did you know that the mastermind producer behind Michael Jackson, Beyonce, Whitney Houston, Justin Bieber, Destiny's Child, the Pussycat Dolls, Lady Gaga, Black Eyed Peas, Mariah Carey, Sam Smith, SZA, and Maroon 5 is actually a devoted follower of Jesus? And the profound conversations about faith he's had with these massive names may shock you.
I remember when I worked with Michael Jackson, he called me out the blue and was like, I need you to pray for me. And I was like, okay, let's do that right now. He's like, no, I want to come where you are.
So I flew out and sat down in studio with Rodney Jerkins, also known as Darkchild. He's produced multiple songs that defined generations. Billboard #1 records that were massive multi-platinum moments. Grammys on Grammys on Grammys. But behind all the fame and flashing lights, he's a Christian in the heart of the secular music machine. So how does he reconcile working in such a dark industry? Whenever I've heard of Darkchild, I've always known you were a Christian.
Yeah, but there's another great line, right? Like a lot of us call ourselves Christian.
Was there any tension in terms of like you're producing for non-Christian artists?
I think I tasted it all, seen it all, and I know it's better.
Yeah.
I know God has better.
You're Solomon in Proverbs. I can't tell which season you're in terms of you having experienced the peaks of what the world has to offer. Then Rodney actually flipped it, pressing me about the intricacies and ins and outs of Christian YouTube, such as why do I talk about celebrities, many of which he knows.
I always wanted to know, like, as I watch different podcasts and I watch different Christian podcasts specifically, why the emphasis is on secular artists.
Rodney Jerkins is pressing me right now on Christian YouTube.
Ruslan.